Welcome to Excel Basics 3. This tutorial will explore the intricacies of saving an Excel workbook.
Before we start, we first need to distinguish between the concepts of save as and save. The save as function is used when saving a file for the very first time, and when saving an already existing file with a new file name, a new or the same folder location or a different file type. Using save will save the current file with the existing file name, folder location, and file type. Let's take a look at the save as function. We are going to open up a new Excel workbook. Note how it is named Book 1 by default. To help visualize the exercise, I am going to quickly add the days of the week in column A. To save the file, we will go to File and Save As. Note that when clicking on Save, it actually shows the Save As function. Since this is an unsaved workbook, the Save As function must be used with the very first save in order to set the folder location, file name, and file type. Here we are presented with some functionality relating to where we want to save the file, what we want to name the file, and what file type we want. The folder location is shown here, and can be changed by clicking on the folder name, or by clicking on More Options. This opens up a file explorer-like window where you can navigate to your desired folder location. Now enter a name to save the file as, in this example we will call it File A. If needed, the file type can be changed to comma delimited or PDF, to just name a few. For more advanced users, you can also edit the author's, tags, and title properties. After making sure you are happy with the file location, name, and type, click on Save. Now that we have saved the file, note that the name has changed from Book 1 to File A. Let's add some more data to the worksheet and save it again. This time around using Save works because we have already set the folder location, the file name, and the file type. The keyboard shortcut for saving is Ctrl+S. Let's add even more data to the worksheet. This time we will use Save As. We will use the same folder location and file type, but change the name to File B. Note that the file name is now showing up as File B. So what happened to File A? Navigating to the location where we just saved the files, note that there are two files showing, File A and File B. Currently, File B is already open, so let's also open File A to see what happened. When the data in column B was entered, we used Save and is reflecting in File A. When we entered data into column C, we used Save As and created File B. Save As therefore created a new file from File A, and File A did not reflect the new changes made as is showing in File B. The Save As function is thus used when saving a file for the very first time and when saving an already existing file with a new file name, a new or the same folder location, or a different file type. Using Save will save the current file with the existing file name, folder location, and file type. Let's close down File A and add even more data to File B. But this time we will not save and try to close the file. Note that Excel gives us a warning and asks if you want to save the changes made to the file. Hit Save to make sure the latest changes are saved, otherwise all changes made will be lost. Opening File B up again shows that the changes we made were indeed saved. Going back to the Save As function. The Recent options shows folders where files have been saved to recently. Here is a pin function which pins the chosen folder to the pinned section and is very convenient to use if you have a folder that you regularly use. The Personal section shows your linked cloud accounts. Add a Place allows you to add further cloud storage solutions. Browse opens up the File Explorer style window which we have already discussed. Excel allows you to customize how workbooks are saved. To do this, go to File, Options, Save. Let's look at the customizations that would be useful to most users. First is the option to toggle whether or not Excel should save AutoRecover information and the frequency thereof. AutoRecover save a version of your workbook which can be accessed in the case of the workbook closing down unexpectedly, like in the event of a power failure or your computer crashing. This option toggles whether you want Excel to keep a AutoRecover save in the event you actively close a workbook without saving the file. The AutoRecover file location can be changed to your liking as well. It is recommended to keep the default settings as is. If you are ever unfortunate enough to experience a blue screen of death or other unexpected computer problem, worry not, all your hard work is not completely lost. You can simply navigate to this folder and get a copy of your workbook, which will at most have only the last 10 minutes, or whatever time period you have selected, worth of work not saved. The next useful customization is changing the default local file location to save files into. Unfortunately, in Excel there is no File Explorer-like function to navigate to the desired folder location. Instead, you will have to copy and paste or type out the folder location. The easiest way to do this is to open up your Windows File Explorer and navigate to the folder you want to set the default save location to. Right-click on the folder path and select Copy Address as text. Go back to Excel, clear out the current file path and paste the new file path. Please note that the method shown here was done using Windows 11, but this should work in a very similar fashion on most Windows versions. The final point of discussion is file naming conventions. It is easy to simply save a file, but making sure you can find it again in the future takes a bit more work up front. This is where a good naming convention system comes in play. Best practices for naming documents can vary depending on your specific needs and organizational system. It's essential to establish a naming convention that aligns with your workflow and makes sense for your particular circumstances. Here are some best practices you can incorporate into your own naming convention. Be descriptive, yet concise. This sounds easier than it is in practice, but essentially this boils down to choosing a name that accurately reflects the content and purpose of the document. Use keywords that convey the main subject or topic. Aim for a succinct and clear name. Long file names can become cumbersome and difficult to read or manage. Use logical order. Arrange the elements of the file name in a logical order. For example, you could start with the date or use a prefix to indicate the project or category. Include version or revision information. If you anticipate multiple versions or revisions of the document, consider incorporating version numbers or revision dates into the file name. This helps differentiate between different iterations. Consistency is key. Establish a consistent naming convention across your files and folders to maintain uniformity and make it easier to locate documents later on. Folder organization. A well-organized folder structure is a crucial step of a good naming convention. It helps to provide additional context and makes it easier to navigate through directories. Date formats. When including dates in file names, use a format that maintains a chronological order, such as year, month, day. In practice, a file naming convention can look something like this. There is a main folder called Finance, within which there are subfolders with descriptive names. In the Daily Sales Report folder, there are two more folders that organize the sales reports by financial year. Within the Financial Year 2023 folder, there is yet again more subfolders to further organize the daily sales reports into different months. I like to include numbers in the monthly folder names as it helps to order the folders in chronological order. Within the March 2023 folder, we have individual daily sales reports neatly organized in chronological order for quick and easy retrieval.
Thank you for watching this Excel Basics tutorial on saving Excel files. Please leave a like if you liked the tutorial. Subscribe to stay updated when a new tutorial drops.